Hello YouTubers, I want to welcome you to another edition of Bargain Bin Gear. Okay, now, as you may or may not know, one of the main things I do with the guitar is use guitar loops done on the fly. So I use a looping pedal, and it records part of what you're playing, and then you can layer other guitar parts and those kinds of things. And back in the day, I had the original boomerang pedal board, right? And, well, at the time it was mono, right? And pretty low bandwidth, really. So it left something to be desired sound quality wise. And it was quite expensive at the time. I think in the $200–300 range, something like that. In any case, that was many years ago. Right, so fast forward, and Boss, came out with these little red looping pedals, the RC series. Okay, and they were very inexpensive to begin with, and they were stereo, first of all, right? Very high bandwidth, and, well, the rc-1 was the basic model, just a looper, basic looper, that was it. Now they have built-in drum machines, MIDI capabilities, and those kinds of things. And that's the rc-5, right? And so I bought one, definitely. Put it on my pedal board, and I use it all the time. It's very nice, and that's not to take anything away from the Boomerang. I have the Boomerang 3. And I love that looping pedal. I think it's really great. But for small size, the Boss rc-5 is great. At the time, I thought it was quite expensive. However, well, I also had an rc-1, and I noticed that there was someone locally selling a Boss rc-5. Wow. Right? And it was half the price of what I originally paid for one. So I was thinking, I could sell my Boss rc-1, which would pretty much pay for this rc-5. So I'm about to go pick it up. Right? It's just a deal too good to resist. And in the end, may not cost me anything, because I'd sell the rc-1 for about the same price, which isn't bad at all. And for those who don't need MIDI, it's still a good pedal. But if I could get that MIDI capability, that definitely would make it worthwhile. It'd be a good upgrade. So we will see. Okay, so my idea, right, was to get this rc-5 and replace this. This is the rc-1. Okay, and it's real basic looper. And remember, the rc-5 has built-in drum machine, it's stereo, it's MIDI, right? It also has a USB interface so that you can record directly and those kinds of things. So quite a step up from the rc-1, and it was about the same price. So I thought that I would get the rc-5 and then sell the rc-1 for about the same price. So it'd be kind of a free upgrade. That was the idea. Now, I actually set up a meeting to meet him to buy the pedal, and I went there. I didn't see anybody, right? So maybe we had a miscommunication or whatever, but it seemed to me that he hadn't shown up. But via email later in the evening, discovered that we didn't quite have the right area. So after setting up a few different times of meetings, we finally met. And this time it was successful, and so I got the rc-5. So let's take a look at it, right? So I get the original box. There it is. The rc-5, right? Has a nice LCD display, MIDI in out, USB, right? Stereo. And if you compare that to the rc-1, right? Much simpler device. No LED screen at all. It does have a thing that's a circle, LED circle, that shows you when it or loop starts and stops, which I thought would be really, really useful. Turns out, on the similar to the rc-5, but the rc-5 has it going this way, with different lights and things. So definitely a step up. Looks to be in good condition. And as a bonus, here's the actual Boss power adapter, right? Now you wouldn't think that that'd be a big deal, right? Oh, well, any power adapter would work. However, Boss recommends this particular power adapter. And on top of that, right, this is quite an expensive adapter. I think it's in like the $40 range or something like that. Okay. So let's hook it up, see if it works. Okay, when you plug in the adapter, it has a little blue LED, shows you that it's on. And we're gonna plug in the pedal. Okay, there we go, we got the pedal on. Wait, it's not working. I've been scammed! I've been scammed! No. Okay, no, it needs a connector to actually power up the unit. So let's do that. Okay, and there we go. So it's lit up. Hit it once to record, once to play back, and now to overdub. Hit it again. Oops. Now, there's a few things I didn't realize, and when I first turned it on, it wasn't acting the way I thought it would. Normally, you should be able to hit it once to record, once to play back, and then yellow is overdub, and then twice to stop it. And if you hold it down, then it resets. Now, what I had to do is reset this to the factory settings, and I did not realize how exceptional of an upgrade this is, just because of the LED screen and what you're able to do, where this has no LED screen. So it looks to be in good shape here. And just as an example, I'll show you the rc-1. Oh, and by the way, the reason it did not start when you just put the power in, it has to have a connection. And the reason is because these can take batteries, so you wouldn't want to run out the battery if you can avoid it. Alright, now just to show you, the rc-1 is a much simpler looping pedal. I mean, basically, you've got that circle, and that's it. and the volume control. So much simpler unit. You know, I mean, that doesn't mean it's bad. It's just you can do it a lot more with this pedal. Now, just as an example, here's the Boss rc-1. Go ahead and loop that. The bass line. Remember, we have that volume knob. And there you go. That's it. That's the Boss rc-1. Now, I will say that little circle thing is great as far as practicing, because it's so simple, you know. So in other words, if you just play a chord, so it's really, you know, it's useful in that sense. Alright, now let's give the rc-5 a try. Okay, now here's the rc-5. We'll try to do the same kind of thing. Same loop. And now we'll do an overdub. Guitar parts. Okay, and now just to show you the little drum machine thing. And this tempo can be controlled via MIDI. So if you have something like a Beat Buddy or a little drum machine, this will sync to it. And the fact that you can save a bunch of these loops on the rc-5 is pretty neat. So you could come back to that at a later time. So there you go. Great deal. I'm very pleased. So I think what I'll do is put the Boss RC-1 pedal up for sale. I just can't think of a reason to keep it, really. Especially since I already have an rc-5, I'm very familiar with it. Though it does quite a bit. I mean, you really have to work with it, and I'm still working with mine, definitely. In fact, the only criticism I have of the rc-5 is that for MIDI, you have to use these Type A MIDI kind of dongles things, and the drum rhythms are kind of pretty basic, and not the greatest, but it's better than none at all, I guess. Alright, there you go. So that worked out. Alright. Anyway, either one that you get, depending on what you want to use it for, too, I guess. Because rc-1, I mean, it sounds great. And it's just a very simple unit. I think the rc-5 can do a lot more. But when it comes down to it, this is a loop pedal. And both are great at creating loops. Now, I guess one other thing, too, is you can actually save the loops with the rc-5. I don't think you can do that with the rc-1. So if you're looking at these pedals, be aware of the differences for sure. Alright, very good. See you next time. Okay, bye.